First in high definition from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
Acquitted of murdering her daughter Kaylee, convicted of lying to police. Casey Anthony's punishment when she'll be released and why this might not be her last courtroom battle. And a city leader is calling for action after a daylight deadly shooting.
We need to do our part as citizens.
Now he wants residents to respond to the crime. Animals struck and kicked. Now 4 North Carolina women are facing felony animal cruelty charges. It's a story we've covered since last year. Professional Laboratory and Research Services in Gates County halted research and surrendered more than 200 animals in the fall. Now the employees could get up to a year behind bars. 10 News' Melanie Woodrow spoke with one of the indicted employees' mothers. Melanie?
Nicole, Connie Deddy told me that her daughter Jessica has been caring for animals for years and that she is an animal lover, not abuser. But lab investigators say that this video they captured of Deddy and other employees tells a different story. And now a grand jury has agreed. Animals sprayed with water and chemicals, cursed at, hit, and violently declawed. People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals captured this undercover video. Kathy Guillermo is a PETA lab investigator.
But most of what's done to animals inside laboratories is legal. What made this case so different is that these animals were hit, they were kicked, they were thrown, they were denied decent care, they were living in filth, they were living in substandard conditions.
This week, a grand jury agreed. Employees Jessica Deddy, Mary Ramsey, Christine Clement, and Tracy Small were indicted. They are all facing felony animal cruelty charges.
And for the first time, we had a district attorney who was brave enough and decent enough to move forward to press for an investigation and to press for felony indictments.
Deddy is facing 3 counts. We stopped by her former North Carolina home where her mother told us she was an animal lover. No one was home at Ramsey's house. The former lab supervisor is facing 5 counts.
We had heard for a number of years that there was a problem inside this laboratory.
When undercover investigators gathered enough evidence, they turned it over to the USDA and district attorney. The lab shut down last fall and surrendered more than 200 animals. 10 on Your Side was there when dozens of beagles were brought to the Norfolk SPCA.
They have gone from being quivering, shaking, sick little masses of jelly to wonderful, playful, loving companions.
Now the caretakers accused of denying these animals care will have their day in court. If found guilty, they could face 4 months to a year behind bars. The lab investigator told me that she believes the lab's owner should also face charges. No word yet on whether or not they will. Melanie Woodrow, 10 on Your Side.
The Franklin Police Department says it teamed up with the FBI and busted a drug ring. Officers arrested 5 men in the sting, including 23-year-old Torrance Bowers. During the bust, police found crack cocaine, ecstasy, and marijuana, as well as a pistol and thousands of dollars in cash. The arrests are part of a continued drug and gang trafficking investigation in Franklin. An increase in violence in one Norfolk neighborhood has citizens coming together to find a way to make that neighborhood safer. 22-year-old David Lee Rudolph of Suffolk was shot to death on Gough Street yesterday in the middle of the afternoon. Tonight, community leaders in the Huntersville section of Norfolk are calling for a special meeting. 10 on Your Side, Suri Crow is live in Norfolk with details tonight. Suri?
That's right. Folks will gather in this building right behind me, the rec center, tonight to talk about the increase in crime here. And just to give you an idea of how close that crime is, yesterday's murder happened in this apartment complex directly across the street. Now leaders are saying that's just too close to home. A murder in broad daylight is the last straw for some residents of Norfolk's Huntersville neighborhood. Marcus Powell, neighborhood watch coordinator for Huntersville, is so worried about the increase in crime that he's calling for a community meeting.
In our community, we've had a rash of burglaries over the last 90 days, 105 to be exact.
What's got Powell and other residents here even more concerned is that the murder of 22-year-old David Lee Rudolph happened at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, across the street from the neighborhood rec center, at the time of day when kids are playing. Police say the murder started as a home invasion. And Powell says this violence is exactly what he was afraid of.
The violence is escalating, so sooner or later, these individuals that are breaking in homes are going to break into a home and someone is going to be there, like yesterday, and we could have another incident where someone else is killed.
Powell says police are doing their jobs. Now he wants his fellow citizens to do theirs.
And we need to do our part as citizens that are active in our communities. Get involved, and if you know something, come forward with that information and give it to the police department.
Now, also on the agenda for tonight's meeting, the burglaries, illegal dumping, and some other juvenile issues they're having here. But the leaders are really hoping that folks will come together and at least put a slowdown to the crime here. Live in Norfolk, Surrey Crow, 10 on your side.
An 11th man pleaded guilty to piracy in Norfolk federal court today. This is for his role in the deadly hijacking of a yacht off the coast of Africa. Monir Ali faces life in prison when he's sentenced in October. He previously rejected a plea deal. A California and Washington couple were shot to death in February on board a yacht after they were taken hostage off the coast of Oman. Another chance of rain in the forecast. On your side, Chief Meteorologist Don Slater is standing by in the Super Doppler 10 Weather Center. Don, we sound like a broken record. When it's hot, there's a possibility, right?
Yeah, when it's hot, there is a possibility. However, most of us are just not seeing it right now. I want to show you what's going on Super Doppler 10 Live, and right now through the area. It looks a lot like rain. We haven't got all that much rainfall going on into the area. We're seeing some scattered showers and thunderstorms, certainly across the Outer Banks, certainly Roanoke Island. We are seeing some scattered rainfall. We move in for a closer view. And hidden underneath Virginia Beach, where it says Virginia Beach, we are indeed seeing some rain. We're going to start out with what's going on there. And we're seeing some lightning out of that as well, a little bit toward Ballahack Road into Chesapeake. But from Kempsville to Indian River Park to Lansdowne, but especially south of the interstate toward Oceana, Macon's Corner, Gun Hole Manor, and the south end of Virginia Beach, we are seeing some thunderstorms there. And they aren't moving very, very much at all. So we are indeed seeing some extended periods of time where we are seeing some moderately heavy rain. There has been some rain toward Ballahack Road, Arbuckle Landing. Most of this is out over the Great Dismal Swamp, though. And that particular area has not been moving very much at all either. Starting to see a new area of rain that's just developed in the past 15 or so minutes toward Elizabeth City, but again, nothing much going on with lightning out of this one. This one has just developed. And one last area of rain, this has been here really for much of the afternoon. You can see it from the northern end of Roanoke Island out over the water and into mainland Dare County. Some very, very heavy rain has gone on here, quite likely in the 2 to 4 inch rain. It rains right on into here. So again, that's where we're seeing the heaviest rain. And again, you can see some fairly hefty rain over Virginia Beach as well. We got a picture of that on our tower cam where you can see that rain. We're looking eastward toward Virginia Beach. And there's kind of a skinny line that's just south of the interstate that extends on out toward Virginia Beach. That area has not been moving very, very much at all. And again, we'll watch that area especially. You can see that particular area, if anything, it has been kind of spreading as opposed to moving as south of the interstate. We'll update Super Doppler 10 Live for you. And look at a pretty good weekend. We'll tell you about that. That'll be coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Don. Dirty Dining is back, and this time we're in Chesapeake. Tonight, Andy Fox goes after the Chesapeake restaurant with the most critical violations. Check out what happened when he confronted a manager about a mold problem.
I'm sorry, sir. The green peppers wasn't really that bad. It was.
They said it was mold. It had mold on it.
No, sir. No, sir.
We'll take you into the restaurant with 19 violations and show you exactly what's being done wrong. A new report on our roads is raising red flags. 10 is on your side, breaking down the study that claims local traffic troubles are hurting the military. And you've heard about complaints about TSA offers patting down officers, that is, patting down children and the elderly. Now another airport security gripe. We'll tell you why a Washington woman was pulled aside for an unusual search. And before a Florida jury acquitted her of murder, Casey Anthony faced the possibility of life in prison, even death. Soon, she'll be a free woman. We'll tell you her punishment for lying.
You're watching WAVY News 10 at 5 with Tom Shad, Nicole Libus, and Super Doppler 10 Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
A court official says Casey Anthony will be released from jail Wednesday. Today, a Florida judge sentenced her to 4 years for lying to authorities who searched for her 2-year-old daughter, Kaylee. Anthony lied about working at the Universal Studios theme park, about leaving her daughter with a non-existent nanny, about leaving the girl with friends, and about receiving a phone call from her. She's receiving credit for the time she's already served, as well as good behavior. Anthony has been in jail for nearly 3 years. She was also fined $4,000. A Texas nonprofit group may sue Casey Anthony, her family, and her attorney. EquiSearch spent a month in Florida searching for Kaylee Anthony in 2008. 4,200 people from 13 states helped out. EquiSearch says it spent $112,000 looking for a girl Casey's attorney claimed during the trial was never missing.
So we were misled, we were lied to, and right now we are certainly looking at all of our options to possibly file a lawsuit.
Casey Anthony's sentencing generated more than 100 comments on our WAVY Facebook page. Alicia says, "I feel that she should be in jail at least another year, but I'm not the judge." Deborah says she will never be free. Fran says, convicted of lying to the police, she should have been charged with child neglect in her baby's disappearance. Who in the world doesn't know where their child is for that long? You can also chime in. Go to WAVY.com to take the poll about Casey Anthony's sentencing, view our photo gallery from the trial, and see a timeline of the case. A data breach impacting thousands of customers, how a major financial services firm lost personal information. Are traffic troubles at Hampton Roads hurting the Navy? We'll have results of a new report and the recommendations that could save bases in the future. We can do a better job getting 125,000 Navy personnel to and from work. That's the finding of a new regional study on Hampton Roads military transportation needs. 10 on Your Side's Andy Fox has taken a look at that study and joins us now with what it all means. A lot of traffic, huh, Andy?
Yeah, Nicole, it's really a great read. It really is. It's very detailed. But the study tells us mostly what we already know. But it does hit home this reality. We should be a consolidation to Hampton Roads and military and not a consolidation away, which would leave an impression our roads cannot handle the military.
There aren't any severe new red flags that say, oh my gosh, the sky is falling.
But the Hampton Roads Military Transportation Needs Study does raise cautionary flags. The Transportation Planning Organization's Dwight Farmer put together the study.
If we aren't able to keep pace with our normal conservative growth, then it makes, I believe, Hampton Roads a less desirable, less competitive place.
The report targets essential road needs like the widening of I-64 through the peninsula, a third river crossing, widening of I-64 across the high-rise bridge, and Midtown Tunnel improvements. The study claims these transportation deficiencies diminish our strength with the military.
We just become less efficient and less proficient in being able to supply them with the transportation network necessary for them to fully complete all of their missions.
And when that happens, the possibility of losing a carrier to Mayport, Florida is not helped by deficient roads.
We will become less competitive. And this is not...
Mayport is an example of where...
Mayport is an example. So, you know, we are a military community and we are a port community.
The Hampton Roads Port and the military bases go hand in hand. Experts believe we get more port traffic after the Panama Canal widening in 2014. There could be a base realignment and closure commission in 2015. All of this figures into being prepared.
I'm saying we're not raising red flags. What we're saying is those who do their homework today will be better prepared tomorrow. That's what this report is really all about.
And that's Dwight Farmer. Now, this report, in it, local high-ranking military leaders told the committee, roads mean safety and quality of life. Time in transit and severe traffic congestion delays distract and detract from our mission, performance effectiveness and efficiency. Our transportation infrastructure is in decline. Who said these things isn't really important. What's important is that they said it at all. And Dwight Farmer says we need to be concerned about that. I'm Andy Fox, 10 on your side.
10 is on your side with a couple of time-saver traffic alerts. Work at 2 different bridges in Chesapeake could impact your weekend drive. VDOT will close the Gilmerton Bridge at 8 p.m. Friday until 5 a.m. Saturday for construction related to the bridge replacement project. Drivers should use the high-rise as an alternate route. On Sunday, VDOT will close the Interstate 64 high-rise bridge at 6 a.m. for maintenance. The bridge will shut down for about an hour and a half. Drivers should use the downtown tunnel or the Gilmerton Bridge as an alternate.
Now, in high definition, your Super Dot for 10 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
And we got an area of rain over Virginia Beach, and it's just been perched there for a while. It's not moving. So we could see some flooding of streets going on out there. And certainly it's creating a traffic headache anywhere south of the interstate in some areas, right along the interstate where we're seeing pockets of heavy rain. You can see it south of Kings Grant right into here where we're seeing some fairly hefty rainfall going on. Extends from Kempsville, pretty good pocket of rain going on right there. A little bit farther eastward, and then this other pocket of heavy rain right about through here on southward all the way to Nemo. Now, I want to show you the bigger picture first, and then we'll come back to Virginia Beach and show you what's going on into your area. Again, really three areas. 1, 2, 3. The one over Virginia Beach, one right along the state line into Chesapeake and into Camden County, but basically into the Ballahack Road area of Chesapeake. And of course, this area, very heavy rain going on into the northern sections of Roanoke Island and mainland Dare County. Now, here's what's going on. Biggest lightning area right now is over Virginia Beach. And again, we got very, very heavy rain going on here from Oakland, Indian River Park, Kempsville. We move up to Kings Grant, seeing heavy rain. Lansdowne, Macon's Corner, Gun Hall Manor, Nemo. And right now on this screen, we are seeing 167 lightning strikes in the past 5 minutes. This will tend to rain itself out a little bit. It's not moving very much at all. That's the biggest problem with it. It's not huge rain, nothing severe about it in terms of any winds going on that we know of. But again, it's just sitting there, so it could produce some fairly hefty rain. Here's what's going on right along the state line. You can see it a little bit into, excuse me, northern Camden County and right along the state line into southern Chesapeake and the area that we've really been watching since about 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon. This area has fallen apart over Elizabeth City. The area that we've been watching since about 2:30, 3 o'clock this afternoon is finally starting to show signs of fizzling, but very, very heavy rain along especially mainland Dare County where we're seeing a lot of rain going on there and lightning earlier. Now, here's what's into Virginia Beach. You can see a little bit brighter picture right now in terms of what I saw about 5 minutes ago. Still raining, but the sky not quite as dark as we're looking from the Armada Hoffler Tower in the town center area of Virginia Beach, where we are, of course, still seeing some rainfall going on there. But the rain threat should come to an end by Saturday afternoon. Saturday morning, we can see a pretty good shot of rain still moving through the area, really Saturday morning. And there's what things are for right now. Again, that rain falls apart by 9 o'clock this evening. Take it through time. And again, 7 o'clock in the morning, all is quiet. Big rain likely toward the D.C. area coming up during the day for tomorrow. Scattered showers and thunderstorms into the area for our area. We're kind of caught between a system at sea and a system to the north. Midnight hour tomorrow night. Now, there are other forecast models that have this slug of rain right here, and it's got a cold front with it, really, that produce much heavier rain. So we'll watch that for late Friday night and into Saturday noon. And then Saturday during the afternoon, we're seeing some breaks in the cloud cover and could even see some sunshine into the area. So once again, we are looking at conditions to improve, especially by Saturday afternoon. Sunday, 89 degrees, upper 80s, low 90s into next week.
A Washington woman feels she was singled out at the airport.
Felt violated, and I felt like this was inappropriate.
A different type of complaint about a TSA security search. And new at 5:30, this Virginia Beach woman's desperate calls for help went unanswered. Tonight, we investigate why 911 operators failed to take her calls. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney says it lost 2 CDs with personal information for 34,000 of its investor clients. That information includes names, addresses, income, and social security numbers. Morgan Stanley says the CDs were lost in the mail to a government agency. The financial company says it is notifying customers and will pay for a year's worth of credit monitoring services. A Washington woman wants to know why she was singled out for a special search at SeaTac Airport.
I was turning around, putting my hands out, ready to be patted down, and she says, "No, we're going to have to examine your hair." I was resisting more and more, and she said, "Ma'am, if you don't let us examine your hair, we're going to call the police."
She says her hair was in an updo and feels she drew the TSA's attention because of the color of her skin.
There were many other females around me who were not black, who were not having their hair searched, who had curly. I mean, I distinctly remember looking at a woman with her hair in a ponytail, very curly, big hair, thinking, why isn't she being accosted as well?
On the TSA website, there is no specific mention of what to expect from security when it comes to hairstyles. It does say any head coverings or loose clothing that might conceal a weapon can be searched. A spokesperson says in the Washington woman's case, the security officer was likely being thorough. Digital detox. We're on your side with how disconnecting from your iPad, smartphone, or Facebook account benefits your health.
Well, there's one little guy with the candy bars, and they were like $5 a piece.
They might look innocent, but some young door-to-door salesmen are trying to rip you off. New at 5:30, we'll tell you what to look out for. Summer may actually be a good time to take a vacation from technology. We spend a lot of time connected to computers and tablets and smartphones and e-readers and logged on to Twitter and Facebook. Studies show unplugging your electronic devices for a while for a digital detox will improve your overall mental health, improve ADHD symptoms, and decrease your depression.
You start to think more clearly, you become more creative. You can kind of go on vacation where you set aside that stuff and just kind of interact more with the kind of the natural flow of kind of natural environments.
If only our bosses would understand that, right? A recent survey found a majority of Americans still check their email while on vacation.